All right, college football playoff. I want to close with this.
Yes.
People are wondering about this move to 16 teams, which I think most everybody expects it to be eventually 16. No, it's not going to be this year.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not quite what people think it is.
So what is it, Steve?
They want to do this where it's not one playing 16 and two playing 15. This is Tony Petitti's idea. Where the opening weekend, 13 plays 16, 14 plays 15. The winners then go on into a 6-game weekend, probably 3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, with the top 2 schools getting buys into the quarterfinals. Everyone's talked about the automatic qualifiers, okay, which has been pushed hard by Tony Petitti and somewhat by Greg Sankey. Sankey's done a lot more listening than people realize in this. And I think people think he's just getting up in the room and just telling everybody what to do. No, it's actually not the way it's been working. Petitti wants to take Big Ten championship weekend with the Big Ten having 4 automatic qualifiers and having teams play it off to be teams 3 and 4. I'm like, okay. That would mean that, for example, last year, 8 and 4 Iowa would have been one of those teams because they're the 6th seed. What are we doing here?
May I make a suggestion?
Well, see, that's
no.
But that's what Sankey's been saying, because like the Big 12 and the ACC have been putting out these press releases about good for the game. And he said, "I'm sick of hearing about good for the game." I said, "Why don't you come up with some ideas?" Well, he's right. Okay, he's right about that, and I've talked about this before. We're in a society right now where everybody does it. Not everybody. Where many people do a great job of identifying the problem and have no idea how, and never tell you how they think it should be solved.
Yeah,
right?
And that's what this is. This is
I'm
literally
glad you're
like,
complaining. What's your idea? Okay, that's one thing that we've done on this show for a long time. Okay. They may not all be right, but we explore ideas. How do we correct this? Okay? And I don't mind the 13, 16, 2-bye thing. That doesn't bother me because those 16 teams are all in to begin with. That doesn't bother me. I don't like this. Now, if you want to play a game between 4 and 5
to be 4. Yeah.
To get to 4, okay.
It's one thing.
I would say, okay, let's explore that. 2 games like that? No.
Yeah. You're asking a lot.
Okay. Well, you're asking a lot because I'm looking at 8 and 4 Iowa. Okay. And I'm saying that they're a potential postseason team? No. Okay, they're not. Now, 4 and 5 might be close enough.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay.
Like you're sitting here where most likely a combination of Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, if they can get back to it. If those 3...
Oh, there'd be a great year to play Michigan. They're not very good this year.
But at least Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon are going to be the top 3.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have a tier down. Like there is a clear 3 and then the rest. Don't put 3 in the tier below.
Right.
Doesn't make sense. If it's an off year, it happens.
Okay, play a game. If you want to play 4 against 5, I'm open to discussion on that. Playing 2 of those games where 3 plays 6 and 4 plays 5, no. Because I'm not in favor of the NBA playoff thing of 7, 10, 8, 9 and the opening round thing. Like, look, whomever won the most games gets the 8th spot. We're done. Like, start the playoffs. Just like I'm not big. See, I'm not big on gimmicks. To me, a gimmick stands out so much. I don't like the NBA playoff, and I don't like the in-season tournament. The reason I don't is they're both gimmicks.
You know, that's the best quote-unquote gimmick that works. the Premier League Championship. So the second tier to get in, the top 2 teams automatically promoted to the Premier League, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 all have to play to get in. That 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, and the winners of those go to the finals, and the winner of that moves on. Which in this case, Sunderland finished 4th. They wouldn't have automatically qualified, but that's a good system because it's a $1 billion game.
Here's a gimmick
that works.
But here's another gimmick the Premier League has. Right, that works. That, as I said, I wouldn't be in favor of in this country, but it's a gimmick that works. The relegation part. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a gimmick. Okay? To me, a league's a league, but again, because of the 4-tier professional system they have in England, okay, but it works. Where suddenly you get to the last weekend, like, okay, they got to win to stay in. Okay.
For the most part, it's like I remember.
But it's a gimmick.
Yeah. The season that Manchester City won their first title, the Aguero goal, it's one of the most iconic goals of all time. That happens because City are trying to win the title,
right?
And QPR are trying not to get relegated. They didn't find out until the last minute that they were safe, but they didn't know that on the field. They were trying to stay alive. So they were playing to win, and City were playing to win. That's the goal of that, is to keep it so everyone plays through 38 games.
Exactly. Right. But that's okay. That's a gimmick. But the NBA leads the world in gimmicks.
Yes.
Okay. The play-in games, gimmick. The in-season tournament, gimmick. Ping pong balls to determine who gets the first overall draft pick. It's a gimmick. Okay. But we're trying to keep things from teams from tanking. Like, I'm trying to keep people in the stands. Okay. Do you think the players are tanking? They're trying to keep their jobs.
Yeah. I like the idea
you think the coach is tanking? He's trying to keep his job.
The idea of 4 versus 5 works because all of a sudden, let's say 5 wins, and everyone's like, oh, but 4 should be in the playoff. They don't deserve it if they don't win a game.
Well, or 4 gets in because there's still a wild card.
Yes. But it gives another team a shot to get in.
If this were the SEC, for example, say it's Alabama, Georgia, LSU. Now you got Texas, and let's just say Texas is having a great year. Oklahoma's having a great year. They're going to play each other, right? The loser of the game still may get one of the wild cards.
But then they'll end up, the punishment for them losing is they have to drop down to one of the 15, 16s, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it's a tougher matchup for them, but that's fair.
Right. You're still one of the 16 that made it, which still means you have a shot.
It should be like what this year was with SMU, where it's not a negative, you lose that game in terms of placement, I guess.
Something that they also should be talking about, which I doubt they are, is what do you put together a championship financial pool to split with the players?
It's a good question. It's straightforward. Should. The question is, will they?
I'm just saying it's something that
they will have to do.
That a forward-thinking group would have to say, look, we got to figure out like there should be a pool for money going to players for each round they win.
It should be like the pots are. What is that they get with college basketball? The NCAA tournament where they get like a chunk.
Well, the players don't get anything.
But the teams get the chunk. Right. The same thing should be for players in this case, where it's like a certain amount, and then they get a chunk for a win. All of a sudden, the players get that.
Right.
Or maybe it's like 80% of the game goes to the winning team, 20% goes to the losing team. So everyone at least gets something.
I think you still have that archaic $590 rule about, we're going to give you a
stipend.
No. It's not a stipend. It's like, hey, we're going to give you a video suite. And you go in and you go online, you pick out whatever you're getting, the gift suite, whatever you want to pick out. Or, hey, everybody's going to be getting Bulova watches. Hey,
or everyone gets Bose, Beats today.
Beats. Everybody's getting Beats by Dre. Great. Yeah. Okay, fabulous.
OMG, LeBron gave everyone custom speakers.
I mean, I think that we're at the point now with the TV contract being what it is. A forward thinker in the group who would be drummed out by some right away has got to bring up the topic because one of the issues that we have that has brought us to this point has been the proverbial, I'm never crazy about the expression, but it's the best one I can come up with right now. We're at this point because this can has been kicked down the road so many times, and I think you've got to be at the point where you're sitting in the room today and saying, once we get the format straightened out, we need to talk about this part. Because we can't kick the can down the road 6 years to the next contract because it's going to be exponentially worse.